Dhanush is here. Yes, ma'am.
Uh, Welcome, Mr. The one who is with the name of System 3. Can you please open your video? We would like to have your name there if it's possible.
Yeah, it is. I think it is not in our, not from IGN, ma'am, because I, Shri, Sivan,
They
Sashmita,
have
and
changed their name to Sai Shaktivel.
yeah, Shai Shakti. Wait, yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. I
Okay,
think he has joined in two device.
okay.
Okay, now it is recording and we are live as well. Thank you. I'm going to start now. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. We are so excited to have you here with us again, the G20 ministry. We are thrilled because every single week we have amazing speakers. We have young speakers, people that are not the past, they're not the future, they're actually the present. I want you to sit down today and really listen to everything they have to say. And we also have an incredible expert panel that will help us summarize and most importantly, we really point out every single thing that our young speakers will say. Entrepreneurship is really the wheel that moves our economy. It is actually the wheel that makes sure that we continue to innovate and to strive forward. So today we start. Let me talk a little bit about what G20 is. The G20 Summit is an annual international forum that convenes leaders from the most significant global economies to address and discuss economic challenges that affect the world. The forum provides an exceptional platform for dialogue and collaboration among the participating nations. The summit's primary objective is to develop and implement policies to enhance financial stability and promote sustainable economic worldwide growth. The G20 is a summit and it's a critical event because this is where leaders engage in crucial discussions on trade, investment, innovation, and international cooperation. The summit also offers leaders an opportunity to strengthen relationships with their global counterparts, fostering a more cohesive and prosperous global community. The countries that participate in the G20 are Argentina, Australia, Brazil, Canada, China, France, Germany, India, Indonesia, Italy, Japan, Mexico, Republic of Korea, Russia, Saudi Arabia, South Africa, Turkey, United Kingdom, United States. The Union, represented by the President of the European Commission and the President of the European Council. The objectives of the G20 are multifaceted and they promote various things. Some of the key objectives include economic growth, promoting sustainable balanced economic growth globally. Number two, international trade, enhancing international trade and investment to foster job creation and economic development. Number three, financial stability. It's strengthening the stability and resilience of our international financial system. Number four, sustainable development, addressing those global issues, including climate change, poverty eradication, and sustainable development. Infrastructure investment, promoting infrastructure development to support economic growth and connectivity. Digital economy, it's advancing digitalization and harnessing the potential of new technologies for inclusive growth. Employment and education, creating opportunities for quality jobs and ensuring access to all. Global health, collaborated in global health challenges. These include pandemics and access to affordable health care. We're also going to talk about the NGOs and the online organizations that provide the support that we need for this summit. These contribute in several ways. Number one, advocacy. NGOs and online organizations like ours raise awareness about key issues, and advocate for specific policies or actions. Research and analysis. They provide valuable research, data, and analysis on various global challenges, assisting policymakers in making the informed decision. We also have partnerships. NGOs and online organizations collaborate with governments, businesses, and other stakeholders to implement projects and initiatives that align with the summit's objectives. Grassroots engagement, I will say this is probably one of the most important ones. These organizations engage with local communities and individuals, amplifying their voices and addressing their needs. Knowledge sharing. NGOs and online organizations facilitate knowledge sharing and capacity building through workshops, conferences, and online platforms like this one, supporting the exchange of best practices and innovative solutions. I'm going to start now discussing and presenting to you who our community partners are. I will start with IIU. I represent IIU, International Internship University. It's the leading virtual education system and global confederation brand, renowned for its innovative programs and commitment to providing accessible education to all. Under the visionary leadership of our founder, Sir Mr. Piyush Pandit, he's a dedicated social activist and a passionate educationist. IIU has rapidly expanded its reach to 195 countries across 6 continents. This remarkable growth is a testament to IIU's trusted reputation and its mission to offer accessible, inclusive, and diverse education to students from every corner of the world. GSFN was established in 2020. The Global Sustainable Futures progress through partnership network. They materialize out of the need to connect the global south with the global north and co-address the pressing challenges to sustainable futures through constructive partnerships. This network looks forward to full-fledged collaborative and interactive activities and co-creating knowledge and practices beyond national borders and academic disciplines. They contribute to achieving and realizing the SDGs agenda in 2030 and beyond. The network is committed to creating collaboration and partnerships across low, middle, and high income countries, reaching out through its coordinators to secure globally sustainable futures that are urgent and are essential. I would also like to present iGET. 74 million young Americans born between 1995 and 2012 comprise the most important generation in United States history, both in size and in composition. 1 out of 4 are from ages 5 to 23 have been collectively dubbed the iGen generation, a shortened descriptor for Internet generation. Not only has it become the largest social cohort, outnumbering millennials and baby boomers, the iGen generation, or iGeners as we call them, is also the most ethnically diverse generation compared to its predecessors. I would also like to present to you the International R&D Group. They facilitate and promote all technical and non-technical research and development. It gives people of the world and a universe platform to expose all of their R&D, their talents, creativities, cultural or educational. The educational growth and surveys with research, they facilitate the dissemination of policy issues across country and internationally to benefit the many. The International R&D Group is associated with 292 international journals across India and over 1,000 across the world. The International R&D Group is promoting social science, engineering, technology management, research by organizing international and national creative talent conferences, workshops, models, exhibition, guest lecturers, intellectuals, employment skills, education, etc. This particular organization is created so we can actually disseminate on policy issues across the country and internationally to benefit all. Thank you so much and enjoy this G20. Dr. Virginia, virtual podium is all yours.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Virginia. Well, that was a very sweet and short introduction about overall about G20 and our community partners. And I would like to really have a very special mention for iGen, from whom we have got about 6 speakers today, if I'm right. So congratulations to iGen, who has been consistently consistently every single week from the very start of G20 till this date, there has been consistently 5 or 6 speakers through and through, and they have really stoned the show like anything. It involves work. It's not just this 1 hour or 3 hour show that has been, which has been displayed and manifested for people like audience to contribute or to just have your cheers and critics and your comments. It's definitely not that. I would like to really mention about Tanuja, ma'am. Ma'am, how many speakers have you worked over the weekend till now with all of them?
Till every week we are representing IGN 6 speakers. I think today
All the
five
six
speakers.
speakers' presentation, the reference work has been checked, vetted, proofread, guided, modified, worked on it, worked for plagiarism check and everything, every single work. Congratulations. And it's so, I'm really proud to have associated with IGEN, who has been so
Thank you so much.
consistent. The consistency is very, very important. That's what I really mean. And it really, last week there were two speakers from IGEN who were just 10 years of age. Just can't believe it. That shows the level of commitment, that shows the level of accountability, that shows the highlight of responsibility of really going back and working on the task that they've taken it for on their shoulders. Hats off to you, Ajan. We are really
Thank
proud
you
of
so
you.
much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so
And
much.
same with IIU. If it's, I think people will know exactly when I say IIU, we know that it's only Dr. Virginia, who has been consistent in the sense consistent from day one. She has never failed to show up. Today she is in New York. Last week she was somewhere else, and then the before week she was sick. She had Madam had about eye infection, but still nothing could stop her. She's there with all the support. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. And you are really making IAU proud on this platform. Thank you. Thanks for your hard work. Thanks for the consistency. Really, that shows the level of commitment. Really, thank you.
I love
Moving
this. I
ahead.
love it. So I'm committed.
Yeah, thank you. And really, and two other people whom I really want to mention before we get off with the show, Miss Jessica. Miss Jessica, who is never shown on this show, but those who are really working in the background, they know that how much she does. All those compilation, everything so meticulously. If Tuesday is the day that it has to go, it will go on Tuesday. And she's been so very consistent, and she deserves a huge round of applause on this platform. Very huge round of applause for being so very consistent. And she's studying, so she's not able to show up on the show, but still she does it. So Jessica, due respects to you and for all your support that you have been doing. Really, it really needs a mention. Sorry, we are taking the time to mention people because of the two big rewards that we are going to give. That will really make a difference. And these are some of the people who are in the limelight till now. And also, when it comes to IGEN, we know that Niranjan has been working out through and through for compilation of the video, for the publishing of the YouTube, and coming on the social media pages and everything. And Dhanush, Mr. Dhanush, who is so very consistent to come and start have it. What we really expect is not the presence, the level of commitment. If and your presence makes it there. If you are there, you are there, so that we can depend on you. It shows the level of commitment. Why is it? Why am I highlighting on the level of commitment? Because today's topic is like that. When you talk about entrepreneurship, when you talk about MSME, it's like business. Business is not charity. Business is not something that it's an option that I can do when I do have time. Then your balance sheet and your term sheet will tell all stories to you. So if you're in business, the level of commitment is the first thing that we need to look in for sustainability in overall. So thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Virginia. Thank you, Dr. Tanuja. Thank you, Dr. Renuka. Thank you, Mr. R. Green. Thanks for showing up today. We are so happy to have you. And also our new face, Ms. Krupashini Jayakumar. who has joined us from last week, and she has been trying to help us out in the place of Madam Sandhya Balaji. Thank you so much. And talking very less about Ms. Kripashini is that she's more like a celebrity who can speak 6 foreign languages. So that's in a simple word that I can give a definition for Ms. Kripashini. Thank you so much, Ms. Kripashini. And moving ahead with all the consistent speakers of today, Sashmita, Sai Kalyan, Sai Shri, and yeah, Roshni, all these people who are really getting familiar by names to me because they have been coming and on through. And definitely these people are going to take the limelight. On that note, so we would like to go ahead welcoming you all for the show today, and which Educate Global has developed this novel initiative of G20 Youth Cabinet to cohort channels like this to open its doors to all the young individuals like you are, who are the real spark in the society, who are from a very diverse background worldwide. So, this platform invites participants like you to present insights and inferences contributing to UNESCO's sustainable goals. So, this initiative aims to address the following agendas, which we will have read today and also discussed and deliberated and made as contributions made by the youth that will help to shape the program's outcomes. I mean, the rationale of it. So, goes our preamble that the agenda is about the plan of the action for people, planet, and prosperity, partnership, and also talking about peace, achieving world peace. It also seeks to strengthen the universal peace in a larger freedom. Correspondingly, we recognize eradicating poverty in all its forms and dimensions, including extreme poverty, is the greatest global challenge and indispensable requirement for sustainable development. All countries and stakeholders acting in collaborative partnership will implement this plan with us, and we are all resolved to free the human race from the tyranny of the poverty and want to heal and secure our planet. So we are determined to take this bold and transformative steps to shift. It's not just a shift, it's a paradigm shift that the world onto a sustainable and resilient path where our youth ministers who are representing this youth cabinet will take the lead forward for phase 2 and phase 3. As we embark on this collective journey, we pledge that no one will be left behind, and the 17 Sustainable Developmental Goals and the 169 targets that we are announcing today will demonstrate the scale and ambition of this new universal agenda, which tend to seek to build on the Millennium Developmental Goals, which have not been achieved so far. So we seek to realize the human rights and achieve gender equality and the empowerment of all women and girls. So moving ahead, they are integrated and with a balance of the 3 dimensions of the sustainable development of economic, social, and environmental targets. So moving ahead, like that's how we have got our vision, that is G20 Youth Cabinet vision as people end poverty and hunger in all its form and ensure dignity and equality. When we talk about prosperity, ensure prosperous and fulfilling lives in harmony with nature. When we talk about peace, we will try to foster peace, just and inclusive societies. When we talk about partnership, it will help us to implement the agenda through the solid global partnership. When we talk about the planet, we'll protect our planet's natural resources and climate for future generations. That's how we have just summed it as a sustainable development. Moving ahead for implementing this, of course, our G20 International Youth Cabinet mission has P1 as people, P2 as planet, P3 as prosperity, P4 as peace, P5 as partnerships, P6 as policies, which our youth cabinet ministers are trying to suggest. P7 is for the protection of the society. P7 is the principles, which the dogmas that have to be worked on, which will be registered over here on this forum as inferences, and also P9 as practices, which they will, all those projects that they have been working on will come as a suggestions where this will be added to the think tank of G20, where these voices will be heard where it has to be heard. On that note, we extend a warm, warm, warm welcome to one and all. On that note, may I request Dr. Kavita to welcome our panel of judges as well.
Thank you, ma'am. A very good evening to one and all present here. Welcome to G20 International Youth Cabinet, where we embark on a journey shaped by the energy, vision, and passion of our dynamic youth. This gathering, aptly titled G20 International Youth Cabinet, symbolizes a platform designed for and by the youth, reflecting our commitment to fostering a future led by the aspirations of the vibrant generation. Now, let me take a moment to acknowledge and welcome the cabinet team. Welcome the panel of experts from IGEN, Dr. B. Tanuja, and engineer Sai Prasanna, and Dr. S.O. Adibzi from GSFN, and also the coordinator Jessica and Royce. I wish to welcome Madam Ermina, esteemed host for a G20 International Youth Cabinet. Finally, I would like to welcome all the speakers of today's G20 International Youth Cabinet. Once again, I welcome you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So moving ahead, we are opening the forum to today's topic, entrepreneurship and MSME, with our presidency as modernize and strengthen the industrial units to make them globally competent. To discuss this presidency focus, we have got about 8 pointers which we have just revolved around. So the pointer number 1 is development of micro, small, medium and scale industries. Number 2 is attract investment to uplift the industrial and social economy. Point number 3 is create an industry-friendly atmosphere and suitable policies for developing the industries. Point number 4 is creation of conducive atmosphere for industries and enable them to compete at the national and international levels. Creation of job opportunities through self-employment schemes where youth are not going to be job seekers, they are going to be job givers. Creation of basic infrastructure for industrial development with digital competence. Revival of sick and closed industrial units. Industrialization is the key to the growth of the global economy. So, to discuss these pointers, we open the forum to all our most privileged and prestigious speakers for today. On that note, we open the forum to Ms. Kripashini Jaishankar.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. I again welcome you all for G20 International Youth Cabinet. So I'm excited to listen to all the speakers as you are. So let us start with the first speaker, Miss Sashmita Teek. She's a student. She's doing her BTech IT in Sri Sairam Engineering College, and she is a partner representing for IGEN. She's going to talk about development of micro, small, and medium scale industries. So, Ms. Sashmita TK, please go ahead.
So, I convey my greetings to all the respected members of International G20 Youth Cabinet and wishing you all a wonderful evening. So, this is Sashmita TK, and I'm currently studying BTech IT in Sri Sairam Engineering College. So, I'm here to talk on the topic development of micro, small, and medium scale industries in India. So, I would like to lay the foundation for my presentation by giving a small introduction about MSMEs. So MSMEs are basically the backbone of Indian economy, so which contributes nearly 30% to the country's GDP, and it provides various employment opportunities to millions of people around the nation. Knowing the significance of MSMEs, Indian government has proposed various schemes and acts for its development and growth. So now let's move on to the definition for MSME. let's move on to the definition of MSME. So the latest definition for MSME was proposed on the year 2020 July as a part of Indian government's Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan. So the characterization is based mainly on the turnovers and as well as the plant, machineries or equipments. So as you can see, the major three divisions of MSMEs are micro, small and medium scale enterprises. So the first M in MSME stands for micro. Certainly the definition states that investment in plant and machineries or equipments not more than rupees 1 crore and annual turnover not more than rupees 5 crores falls under micro enterprises. So that represents the small scale businesses typically operated with limited resources and which employ small number of workers and have relatively low levels of investments in plants and machineries or equipments. So they are generally characterized with localized presence. So they are often owner operated or family owned businesses which is passed on to the next generations. So with owner being directly involved in their day-to-day activities and operations for their investments. So these sectors include small sales industries like beauty salons, tailoring shops, and local eateries, which serves the immediate communities, that is, locals who are living around those areas. So the second category for MSME includes small enterprises, um, which exhibits characteristics similar to micro but have a bit larger scale and scope. So the definition states that investments in plant and machinery or equipment not more than rupees 10 crore and annual turnover not more than rupees 50 crores falls under small enterprises. So thus this represents the businesses that are larger in scale than micro but still operate with relatively limited resources compared to the medium and large enterprises. So unlike micro, they have formalized organization and structures like systems based on which they perform their day-to-day works. So some of the examples for small enterprises includes small-scale manufacturing units, retail stores, professional services, firms, and small-scale contractors. So they have a market reach broader than the micro, serving regional, national, or even international markets. They have more extensive distribution networks, marketing efforts, and customer bases compared to the micro. So next, last category of MSME is medium enterprises, which by definition is investment in plant and machinery or equipment not more than rupees 50 crores and annual turnover not more than rupees 250 crores falls under medium enterprises. So they are relatively relative to micro and small enterprises. Medium enterprises have larger scale and operations, generated production capacity, and more extensive customer base. So they often exhibit four characteristics. First of all, organizational complexity with multiple department, socialized functions, and hierarchical structures. So they have even wider range of resources, including financial capitality, technology, and even human resources. So next, I would like to expand on this topic. These are the registered MSMEs in India. So 93% of the pie chart includes micro enterprises, 6% includes small enterprises, and 1% include medium enterprises. So expanding on this topic, next we'll move on to the emergence of MSME. So the roots of MSME traces back to the pre-independence era. So in pre-independence era, craftsmen, artisans, and traders performed small-scale businesses and produces goods and provides services to meet the local demands. In early stages, like in 18th and 19th centuries, small workshops and cottage industries were very common, particularly in sectors such as textiles and handcrafts and metal workings. They were particularly so common. Um, Sectors such as after independence, after the end of the World War II, it led to renewed focus on economic reconstruction and development, the country adopted various policies to promote small, medium, and large scale enterprises, as the country identified MSME as one of their engine for the development of growth and economical development of the nation. So this includes globalization and liberalization also. So next, move on to the MSMED Act. MSMED Act is basically the Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises Development Act, which is proposed by the government in the year 2006. So it is introduced to address the challenges faced by MSME and to create enabling environment for their sustainable growth. One of such acts, one of such acts includes Credit Guarantee Fund Trust Act. So there are various policies and acts which are proposed by the government, as you can see in the PPT. Industrial Policy Resolution of 1948, Industrial Policy of 1956, and among those, a very vital scheme proposed by the government was Credit Guarantee Fund Trust Act, which the primary objective of this scheme is to encourage lending institutions such as the banks and financial institutions to extend credit facilities to MSME without the need for the third party guarantee. So this mainly encouraged the entrepreneurships of various small scale industries among the nation. So let's look into the visual representation of the next slide, which shows the investments made in MSME in India around the year 2007 to 2014. So these are the data. Now let's move on to the contribution of MSME. So contribution of MSME includes employment generation, so which accounted over 110 million jobs, mainly in the year 2015 to 2016, including 30% of the total employment of India, and also promotion of entrepreneurship, contribution to the GDP, and promotion of inclusive growth, facilitation of industrialization. So GDP growth promotion is about 30% of Indian economy has been contributed by MSME for the increase in economy. So these are some of the challenges faced by MSME, which includes limited access to finance. This is a major challenge because only 5 to 6% of MSME in India have access to institutional finance. Remaining 94% rely on informal sources of finance due to the difficulties in obtaining the bank loans and all, and complex regularity environment, infrastructural constraints, and also skill shortages and labor issues. So these are, I would like to include solutions for enhancement. So solutions of enhancement includes promotion of technology adoption, streaming irregular procedures, and promoting sustainability and inclusivity, including sustainable development growth for the country's development. So, so I would like to conclude this presentation by saying that MSME really plays a vital role in driving the economical growth and fostering the innovation. So I sum it up by saying that MSME really generated more employment opportunities and unlocked the SDG goals, sustainable goals, and improved many livelihoods across the nation. So thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you so much, Ms. Sashmita. And I would like to hear your thoughts, Madam, from Sri Vidya Madam and Dr. V. Thanuja,
Yeah,
and
thank you
also
for your
from
wonderful.
Virginia, Madam. You can please share your thoughts.
Thank you, Sashmita, for your wonderful presentation. You have given a complete picture of MSME, and also you had addressed about the pre-independence and post-independence of MSME, and also you have talked about the various Act 2006 MSME growth, and also you have rightly pointed about the challenges faced in MSME, that is financial and regulatory issues, infrastructures, low productivity, lack of innovations, and also you talked about the technical changes, competitions and skills, and lack of professionalisms, and also lack of standardized policies. India, I do agree with that. India lacks in consistent MSME policies, so that has to be regulated. And The consequence will help in development and entrepreneurships promotions programs in India. Thank you. Thank you for your wonderful presentation, Sashmita, once again.
Thank you, Sashmita. That
Thank
was
you.
very comprehensive. Well, when we talk about micro, as you rightly mentioned in your presentation, when we talk about the micro, small, medium enterprise MSMEs, they form a very crucial component of the global economy, playing a very significant role in job creation, definitely innovation, and also economic development, which you have covered well in your presentation. And like MSMEs are typically characterized as by the smaller size, but they still remain the backbone of many economies, not only India, but also the global economies. And you have not left any leaf unturned when it comes to access to finance, as ma'am was mentioning, regulatory environment, digitalization and innovation, talking about capacity building of people, and also finally summing it up with the global market with the international trade. So it is very important that these special discussions that are happening and initiatives which are related to MSMEs may vary, will differ from the actual G20 summit, but the outcomes are always influenced by the economic priorities and challenges faced by the member countries, including India, and the meetings have their rationals as such. Thank you, Susmita. Thank you so much. So we move on to next speaker. Madam Virginia, would you like to add on something? Because this is about business. When it comes to business and entrepreneurship, I know that you have a very key role to play in that. So,
Well, thank you. First of all, I want to congratulate you. It was a very clear presentation and it positioned India where it's at today. I am going to speak from as a Western person looking into India when it comes to the business economics and the dynamics that we're seeing globally. India, being the most populated country in the world, has an incredible opportunity to become probably one of the most important economies in the world. And we're talking about regulations and how to really help India continue to thrive. I am very excited for the future in India and what you just saw. All countries that grow, and I think we're all emerging countries. Many times we think of certain countries, but the truth is that if we want to progress in the scope as a whole global, um, I would say, country that really impacts, India has an incredible opportunity to become, and I'm going to say this lightly, a superpower because it already is. It has youth and it has educated people. You know, these are two important things, and it has people to work. So as we're going to see today, let's keep in mind that we're preparing for a new positioning when it comes to global economies. And I think India is definitely in the top three. And actually, we're in the top three right now. Looking out and looking, I come from the US. I think our time has come. And I think as the United States, we have become very complacent with our position. And looking at countries like India that are striving and working so hard, I can only say that the future looks really, really bright. And I know that India is in the top three economies of the world. We just began today looking at her presentation, but we're going to see throughout the day how important it is to continue making it easier for people to have enterprises. Because again, entrepreneurship and the enterprises are really what moves all of our economies. So congratulations on a great presentation, and I'm looking forward to every single one that's coming up. Thank you.
thank you, Dr. Virginia.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Tanuja and Dr. Srividya Madam, and also to Dr. Virginia. So let me go with the next presentation, which is going to given by Mr. Sai Shaktivel Rajamani Surendran. He is also going to talk about the same topic, which was represented by Sashmita, development of micro, small, and medium scale industries. And Sai Shaktivel is a student of BTech CSBS, Sri Sairam Engineering College. He's a partner representation of iGen. Let's welcome Sai Shaktivel to share his best presentation here. Thank you.
Good
Sai
evening,
Shaktivel, you can
esteemed
go ahead.
analysts. Am I audible to everyone here?
Yeah, you are audible.
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Sai. Please go ahead.
How are you all today?
Yeah, fine, thank you.
Okay, just a minute. Okay, so very good evening to everyone gathered here on this occasion of this G20 International Youth Cabinet. So this is Sai Saktivel here from Sri Sairam Engineering College, representing uh, the development of micro, small, and medium scale industries, which I'll be addressing today. And as the tagline goes here, empowering innovation and fueling entrepreneurship is what this world needs for the sustainable future as well. And also, I would like to add on that I myself, being a budding entrepreneur, would have more experiences and tales to address the people yet to come and take space in this wonderful arena of opportunity. So to proceed further, let's get a clear understanding on what MSMEs actually do. And I was really stunned by the presentation by Sashmita because she covered all the nuances of what MSMEs do in a very clean and perfect manner. So it also makes my work easier now. So MSMEs, as I have to address, they are pioneering the global economy because MSMEs are working to meet out the SDGs. MSMEs are propelling employment opportunities. They are fueling innovation, and they're also bringing out decent work and economic growth for a large amount of people in not just a country or a group of countries, but also in every small provinces and states that we can go and visit, and we can also see it with our day-to-day activities. So it also gives our people the supply of whatever demand is there, it's met out properly, not just by the large companies out there and the bigger industries and the market giants, but also with the help of MSMEs, specifically the micro and small scale businesses. So as we all know, these are the business classifications. If I'm not wrong, the micro, small, and medium, as well as the large industries in any country or even the states that we can focus, would have its own categories. Say we have the large businesses doing the great manufacturing and the other kind of production works, and medium industries would be doing the B2B and B2C kind of business operations. The micro and small, on the other hand, are set up and developed completely by a group of people or a person with their vision and commitment to strive in economical balance as well as to meet out their day-to-day needs. So we by default must understand one thing, that these MSMEs are built with passion because every entrepreneur is driven by passion, and that gives them the purpose to operate their business successfully. In that aspect, evolution of small scale businesses have started from a very long period of time. But to be very specific, there was some amount of competition which emerged between people, where if they are skilled and they have the capabilities to begin a venture, why would they have to let their talent and the opportunities go latent? But instead, they could experiment their opportunities and yield out better results. So, in this manner, there are better and innovative businesses coming up day to day, ranging from printing vinyl stickers to also selling eatables and other goods uh, delivered to the doorsteps of the customers. So, this is how a successful and a progressive journey of small scale businesses are evolving in today's current trends. Apart from that, being a content creator myself, I can relate to one thing, that entrepreneurs have also switched to personal branding and using social media platforms very effectively to communicate about their businesses and to reach out to the customers in a wide aspect, because one thing they are very clear is that when they brand themselves, they're branding their businesses, and they, being the face of the business, will definitely create the impact amongst the people. And coming to the financial setbacks, like we have to understand one thing, that not all the businesses which emerge in the markets are given capital beforehand. or they're not backed by any kind of sources to meet out losses and to compensate with their say like the drawbacks in their financial decisions. There are still young entrepreneurs who are not sure of what they can be doing in the market, so that leads to financial setbacks for all kind of business. So in this case, we clearly have to see that MSMEs face financial challenges. They are given less period to meet out the credit, as well as they also have issues with the cash flows, like they're not able to keep up a proper accounting of their business operations. So in these cases, we must also be very clear that every country or every state, like every state and every cities will have great amount of business incubators and business accelerators and enablers. So all these people, when they join hands and get into survey with every business face to face, like a one-on-one session could actually build better ecosystem for all businesses. And here we would like to highlight about the importance of developing small businesses. So supporting the growth of small businesses will actually not restrict to that one small particular place itself, but it will be playing a key role in the GDP of the nation. The economical impact a small business creates at one corner of the street will not be significant until and unless a large number of people are affected by them. So in this case, we clearly understand that if we don't have a vendor on the street who sells flowers, we may have to walk another kilometer or reach out to a different store in another area or a locality. So if we don't have this flower selling vendor over there, we would be facing the difficulty of reaching out to another vendor. So this obviously creates uh, hope for a person to actually set up a flower stall in our place where we live. This was just a very significant example for my hometown, because this is one difficulty many old people face. They're not able to reach out to a large number of markets directly due to health issues and other criteria. But when they have one vendor, they are accustomed to buying flowers from them for a long period of time. So this creates the impact of one small business that is bringing a scope for a lot of people in that one particular area. Similarly, what is the scope and initiatives taken by government as well as we individuals to support MSMEs? It is very simple that we are capable of doing a lot of help to every kind of business owners we come across in our day-to-day life, and there are greater initiatives taken by the social and socio-economical and entrepreneurial communities. Apart from private communities like that, we have government agencies like in India we have Startup India, which is a scheme, and Startup TN, which is a business accelerator and enabler from the Tamil Nadu's government itself. So these kind of platforms serve as a great support to entrepreneurs, because when they are able to envision one idea, they are able to conceive that idea and then pursue it as a long-term goal for their next 10 years and operate successfully in the market amidst all the chaos that is prevalent to them. This is not just possible because of the business accelerators or the business schools we have, but it's also possible because of the connect that people have with the society. Everywhere we are discussing about entrepreneurship and the social growth. So people by within themselves have the seed of entrepreneurship. So that is what propels progress in the field of MSMEs. And we also have, as I said earlier, Startup AN and Startup India are playing a vital role in creating this amount of impact for the people. As we said, invest in MSMEs, empower the future. This is not just another tagline, but it really creates that impact for people, because people who wish to launch their micro, small, or even medium industries, they are given support by the government with the help of schemes for acquiring credit or even acquiring grants. And for young student entrepreneurs like us with a very innovative and feasible idea, the vitality of the idea is assessed and then we are graded on the basis of feasibility and how the customers will be uh, given the product. And this all factors are considered to grant us with funds to develop our product, which is initially as a prototype. So in this aspect, even my institution, has carried out this one vision of one student, one startup. So this is the ultimate motto of Siam Innovation Ecosystem as well. So summing up everything, we can clearly get to conclude with that one tagline which I have included in this slide, which is invest in MSMEs and empower the future. And that's it for today from my side. Thank you. And if you have any queries, I'm very glad to answer. Let's get connected on social platforms like LinkedIn and Instagram, and where I'll be sharing my views and thoughts. I'm looking forward to connect with everyone and have a great time ahead. Thank you. Thanks for this opportunity.
Thank you, Mr. Sai Shaktivel. I was really impressed with your words that you have shared. Anyways, we shall listen the thoughts from Dr. B. Tanuja and Dr. Sri Vidya, madam. Yes, ma'am, please go ahead.
Yes, thank you, Sai Shaktivel, for your wonderful presentation. I was impressed on your tagline, one student, one startup. The tagline was so impressed. Yes, of course. The small scale industries plays a very important role in generating employment and also improving the financial status of the people. Rightly, you have pointed out, and also the point that financial setbacks you addressed, the incubators, accelerators, and enablers, they have to join and they have to support the youngsters to start their own startups like that. You have rightly pointed out about the GDP of the nations, and also you have given a clear vision and scope of the challenges in the small scale industries. Really impressed on your presentation. Thank you very much, Shai Shaktivel.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sai Shaktivel. If I'm allowed, with everyone's permission, I would like to mention here something about MSMEs and SMEs. Like சிறு தொழில் ஒன்றை கற்றுக்கொள் கவலை உனக்கில்லை ஒற்றுக்கொள். That means it's a Tamil saying which talks about the MSME factor of it. Like that means every single person, as Mr. Shai Saktivel was mentioning, we need not be a student. Every single person, instead of like going and working for a corporate or anything, you start your own business. So that should be the lead actually. Why? Because like it's obviously like when you go work, the other person is going to make use of your brilliance for his growth. Indirectly, that's how the corporates work. So you are going to pledge your brilliance anyway. Then why don't you pledge it for yourself, your own growth? So that's what is the whole thing is all about, and that has been told very years ago and ago in our own Tamil saying. So why not we just go back and look into that and reflect on that particular part of it. Coming to that, how to get it in on a very practical mode is that schools, especially wherever, if we want to bring a change, youth is the person who can bring the change. And where it can happen, the school, the four walls of the classrooms are the one that it can happen and it can be easily implemented. So when we talk about all these kind of SMEs and MSMEs, be it pottery, be it carpentry, be it any small, even engineering aspect of it, talking about the design technology, talking about creating, see, normally what happens when a child has to prepare a project work, it becomes a homework for the parents. Rather than the child, the parents have started worrying about it. They go, they buy the things. Some people really go far beyond. They go buy the project. If it's talking about the monuments of India, I'll go buy a project. The Taj Mahal has come. Instead of that, let the child start. Work on the child's creativity. Work on the child's imagination. Let him create his own thing. So that's where it actually starts. It stems from. So that's what we need to all work on, and definitely schools, as Mr. Saktival was mentioning, Tamil Nadu government has been doing so many things. They can think about implementing these kind of things as after-school workshops for these kind of activities, such that this can be implemented, and definitely every student will become a child prodigy, and they will become a business person, definitely. And related to exactly like these days, gardenings are happening in school. Every school is working on a school garden and they are cultivating crops and they're growing fruits and vegetables. So why not they have their own market? Why not they have their own vegetable market where they can sell the fruits? They can become, that's where the entrepreneurship stems from. And that's where the charity comes from. If you're going to give it to any of the social welfare organization, that's where it comes from. So these things have to be implemented for a social cause with a more in a more broader spectrum. That's what I mean. Anyway, we shall start thinking about it. Well, Mr. Shaktivel, yours was a very comprehensive, and you have mentioned about the holistic approach that had addressed the various aspects of the business environment. That is collaboration with the governments, collaboration with the financial institutions. That's what I mean. So when the students are coming and doing a pitch deck, you know, the pitch deck workshop where they can present their projects and they can just go to the corporates and take ask for sponsorships and everything. That's where it is collaboration. Schools and universities, they can directly tie up or liaise with the financial institutions for the for financing their projects, etc. So these kind of collaborations, which will definitely try to establish, which will really help support in developing a very holistic approach in addressing these various aspects of the business environment. So coming to the industry associations and other stakeholders to have a very successful implementation of the supportive measures. Thank you so much. So what is the best thing which is required taking it forward for Mr. Shah Shaktivel is that awareness and education. So we should continuously conduct these kind of awareness program to educate about SMEs and MSMEs to in all the education institutions, implementing with the help of the support of the government as government programs and build best business practices with youth in the lead so that they will take it forward. So they are being, so in that mode, what is required is the financial literacy initiatives. Child may be interested in computer, the child may be learning physics, chemistry, biology. Irrespective of the stream that child is learning, financial literacy is something every single student has to know because it comes to the home budget. When we talk about the home budget, it's like everyday counting for vegetables and fruits and everyday grocery we are spending in money. So this financial literacy initiatives should be added as a curriculum, as a very strong curriculum in all the schools and the education institutions. That's what we should do it. I think so. Hope everybody will agree with me. And on that note, I think we should go on to the next speaker. Thank you so much, Mr. Sai Saktivel. Thanks for those wonderful, really thought-provoking suggestions that you have made on this platform. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
I really thank you, Dr. Srividya and Dr. Tanuja, for giving thoughtful words, and as well as it was so encouraging for the youth of this generation. So let's continue this with the other speaker. Our next speaker is Ms. Sai Sri G, who is a student of BTech Biotechnology, who studies in Dr. MGR Education and Research Institute, and she represents IGEN, and she's going to talk on the topic of industrialization is the key to the growth of global economy. We welcome you, Ms. Sai Shriji. You can share your screen and please go ahead with that.
Okay. Well, I have some issues in with my camera, so I'll be only using my audio. So please excuse me for that. Uh, this is my first time doing a presentation in online, so I'm really grateful to be a part to represent the G20 in International Youth Cabinet. Uh, and and I'm thank and I'm thankful for this opportunity.
You can go ahead.
So, industrialization is the key to the growth of global economy. This means a lot. In the journey from developing to developed status, the industries play a very important role. Decarbonization efforts. Developed countries have been at the forefront of decarbonizing the industrial sectors. However, the developing countries face unique challenges, especially in this transition. The barriers include technology, finance, knowledge, socio-economic context, and politics. Let us see some examples related to the case studies. Indonesia lacks a robust policy framework for industry decarbonization, where Mexico has rigorous industry specific targets, but it faces implementation delays. Whereas South Africa has decarbonization plans, but it lacks ambition. Economic transformation. Some developing countries have become leading producers and exporters of manufactured goods, agricultural products, and commercial services. Large developing economies like they have gained prominence on the global stage. Strategic aid and trade, where the economic development is often driven by new policies encouraging the trade alongside developmental assistance from larger economies. This strategic aid from developed countries, it contributes to the growth in developing nations. Industrialization, as I told, it plays a very important role in transforming the economies. For instance, the East Asian economies, they focus on allocating the resources to stimulate industries, and technological development has led to the remarkable progress. A combination of policy support, the strategic aid, and focused industrialization efforts, this has propelled some developing countries towards the economic development as well as the industrial growth. Where these are some of the industries that significantly contributes to a nation's prosperity. Manufacturing industries, it encompasses various sectors including automobiles, electronics, textiles, and machinery. Uh, it generates the employment, adds values to the raw materials, as well as it fosters the technological advancement. The countries with robust manufacturing bases often experience substantial economic growth. The information technology and software services. Uh, this has revolutionized the global economies. The software development, IT services, and outsourcing it contributes significantly to the GDP. India, for instance, it has become a global IT hub for boosting its economy. Financial services and banking. A functional financial sector, it facilitates the investment, capital flow, and economic stability. Banks, stock markets, insurance companies, and other financial institutions drive the economic growth, where the policies promoting the financial inclusion and innovation are very essential. Construction and infrastructure. Uh, the activities they create jobs and stimulate related industries where investment in infrastructure it directly impacts the economic growth, where healthcare and pharmaceuticals it contributes to the health and it drives the economic growth to other level, where the research development and production of medicines it plays a very important role here. Tourism and hospitality, it generates the foreign exchange, it creates jobs, and it stimulates the local economies. The countries with attractive tourist destination, it benefits from increased revenue. Energy and renewable resources, the energy production and distribution are critical for the economic growth. The transitioning to renewable energy sources, it promotes the sustainability and the economic resilience. Agriculture and agribusiness. The agriculture, it provides the food security and raw materials, where agribusiness, it includes processing, distribution, and the export of agricultural products. The automobile and transportation. Automobile industry, it drives the economic activity through the manufacturing, sales, and services, whereas the efficient transportation networks are very essential for the trade and commerce. Remember, the interplay of these industries along with the supportive policies, it determines the country's economic trajectory. Each industry has a very unique role, and their collective growth propels the overall prosperity. Unemployment it is a very big issue nowadays. So the industries, it not only drives the economic growth, but it also plays a very crucial role in eradicating the unemployment by providing jobs, fostering the entrepreneurship, and contributing to the overall prosperity. So small scale industries, they play a very important role in the employment generation with relatively lower capital investment. These industries provides opportunity for skill as well as the unskilled workers, contributing to reducing unemployment. Manufacturing and service sectors. Uh, it creates jobs directly in factories and indirectly in supply chains, where the service sectors such as IT, healthcare, hospitality, and retail, it employs a significant workforce. Both sectors, it contributes to the economic growth as well as the employment opportunities. Innovation and technology. They create new job opportunities. The research and development, it always led to the sustainable growth. Global economic recovery is, as we all know, the COVID-19 pandemic caused a surge in global unemployment, where government support packages and businesses adaptability to help the labor markets recover. So, strategies and measures that can help for the growth. Improving government effectiveness. Countries tend to achieve consistent growth when they focus on enhancing their own effectiveness and fostering the vibrant competition. Strong companies that drive growth emerge from such environments. Government can experiment with new approaches to the markets and regulations through pilot programs, scale up successful policies that improves the productivity and create a competitive business environment. Diversifying economies. Relying on a single industry or a sector can be risky. Diversification, it helps countries withstand shocks and adapt to changing global dynamics. Encouraging innovation and supporting emerging sectors can lead to sustainable growth. Institutional improvements. Strengthening the institutions, promoting transparency, and ensuring the rule of law are critical. Effective governance fosters investor confidence and support long-term economic stability. Addressing inequalities. Income disparities hinder economic progress. Policies that promotes equitable distribution of wealth and opportunities are very essential. The rise of inequalities, it ensures the stemming of rise of inequalities ensures a more inclusive and a resilient economy. Promoting inclusive and sustainable industrialization. So economic like white matters aspects of inclusive and sustainable industrialization as well as global goals and targets. The economic growth inclusive and sustainable in like by creating jobs, uh, fostering innovation and improving living standards, it contributes to the overall prosperity. Infrastructure resilience. Investing in resilient infrastructure such as transport, energy, and communication networks ensures the long-term development and community empowerment. Technological advancement. Sustainable industrialization encourages the technological advancement. These innovations enhance the productivity, efficiency, and competitiveness. Thereby, I conclude that collaboration among governments, business, and international organizations is key to achieving sustainable, resilient, and inclusive economic growth. So, balancing the industrial growth with environmental sustainability is crucial. Let's work together for a better global economy. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Sai Shri. So we shall hear the thoughts from Dr. Tanuja and from Dr. Srividya.
So actually, thank you for your great presentations. Yes, you are rightly pointed about that. To meet the sustainability, the developed countries should contribute to the developing countries because as industries expand, they are consuming more raw materials and energy, and that leads to increase the carbon emissions and also the distractions in the habitat loss, and also the resources depletions may take place. To balance this equation, the sustainable practices must be adopted. Like the resource efficient technologies can be adopted, and also the circular economy can must be adopted. Yeah, and also you have talked about the various sectors in agriculture, banking, institution for the growth of the economy. You rightly pointed out about that. Yeah, thank you for a wonderful presentation. That's all about it.
Thank you, Dr. Tanuja. Well, I've got something add on to Saishri, please. Well, that was very comprehensive, and since we have moved on from the first pointer to the second one, now there's a new pointer. So she had included two other factors in her presentation apart from the previous one. So, as Saishri was mentioning, industrialization has historically played a very significant role in the economic development of any nation, be not be India. Let's not stick on to India. For development of any nation, contributing to the increased productivity of that particular country. So when it comes to the productivity, it has other factors which has a follow through as job creation. Definitely, we need manpower, technological advancement of that particular country because we need to keep up our pace with the current trends and overall contributing to the economic growth as such. So, while the importance of industrialization has been evident in the past as such, its role in the global economy continues to be significant for several reasons. As she had very rightfully mentioned about job creation, and economic diversification, that was a key thing that really caught my thought in that. So how does it diversify from the traditional aspects of that particular country to keep up with the global trends, how they modify themselves, how they learn, how they acquire those skills, and also finally contributing to the diversified economy of that country, of that particular country, making the country more resilient to the external shocks and the less dependent on the single sector, that particular sector. That means collaborating from that particular one single field. Say if it is healthcare, how healthcare is related to IT. If it is education, how education is related to IT, such that every single sector starts working in collaboration. As such, it drives as a factor, it drives as a driver through for the economic statistic driver. I would say statistic driver, but still strategic driver for the economic growth with all the stats which are being involved in it and that for that particular country. And moving ahead, it talks about the export and import as well for the industrial products, and also the ability of that particular country to export the goods. May I know who is that, ma'am? Sorry. Sorry.
Is everything fine on the other side?
No, somebody's extra noise is heard. I'm just checking who is that. Okay, that's fine. Sorry for the interruption. So that was quite comprehensive, Sayashree. And well, finally, she did not leave that particular point, the very key thing of reducing poverty. So that's how the country benefit basically with the economic benefits associated with the industrialization, such as job creation and increased income levels, contribute to the poverty reduction by providing people with the means to meet their basic needs. So again, urbanization is one factor in that way, like in that particular field. When we talk about urbanization, developing villages, as people from the rural areas will move into cities in search of employment opportunities, and also that will help to the economic development. So thank you, Saishri. It was quite comprehensive, and definitely all these points that you have mentioned on this platform will definitely will add it to the think tank of G20, and then we'll be able to take it forward. Thank you so much. Thanks for the wonderful participation and your contribution. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Srividya, ma'am. And also, I thank Dr. Tanuja for your thoughts. So let's continue again with the next speaker, who's going to talk about industrialization is the key to the growth of the global economy. Mr. Zuben Kalyan is going to join us now. He is a student of Amit University. He is a partner representing for iGen. Mr. Zuben Kalyan, you're good to go now.
Yeah. Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, please.
Ma'am, is the skin visible?
Yes, it is. Please go ahead. Thank you.
Uh,
Good
so,
to go.
good evening, everyone. I am Zuben Kalyan. I am from Amit University, Chennai. I am representing iGen. So, my topic name is industrialization and its role in global economy. So, here's a short introduction. Uh, Industrialization shapes global economy, changes production and consumption, shift from farming to manufacturing, uh, dominate economy, increase productivity, economy, and living standards. Understanding industrialization impact is crucial. So, industrialization, different parts of the world are at different stages of industrialization. Places like US, Germany, and Japan already have strong industries and use advanced technology to grow their economies. Countries like China, India, and Brazil are growing fast with their industries, becoming the big players in global economy. But in Africa and Southeast Asia, industrialization is starting, bringing both challenges and chance of this country to grow economically. Uh, so historical context of industrialization, early industrial revolution. The period between 18th and 19th century marked the birth of industrialization, characterized by technological advancement and shift from manual to mechanized production methods. Impact of economic growth. Industrialization led to significant economic expansion, urbanization, and the emergence of skilled workforce, laying the foundation for sustainable economic progress. Global influence. The Industrial Revolution not only transformed economies in Europe and the United States, but also had far-reaching effect on global trade and development. So the early industrial revolution happened in late 1700s and early 1800. It brought new machines and changes how things were made, moving from handwork to machines. This helped economies grow, made cities bigger, and created more skilled laborers. It didn't just affect Europe and the United States. It changed how the whole world traded and developed. So current situation of industrialization in different regions of the world, like advanced economies, so it is divided into three parts: advanced economies, emerging markets, and developing nations. So as I said earlier, countries like US, Germany, and Japan have established mature industrial sectors leveraging advanced technology and innovation to drive economic growth. Like they were the pioneers of industrialization. So the industrializations in these parts of the world started at the earliest. So next is emerging market. Nations such as China, India, Brazil are experiencing rapid industrialization. Like we know that China is the manufacturing hub of the world. Most of the tech giants like Apple, Microsoft, Tesla, and all are having their big manufacturing plants in China, and now the focus is shifting on other countries such as India. Third one is developing nation. Many African and Southeast Asian countries are in early stage of industrialization, facing unique challenges and opportunities in their quest for economic advancements. So advantages of industrialization for economic growth and development. So the advantages are economic diversification. Industrialization lead to diversified economy, reducing dependency on agriculture and enabling a wide range of economic activities. Second one is employment opportunities. Growth in industrial sector create jobs, driving employment and contributing to poverty reduction. Third one is technological advancement. Industrialization promotes technological progress, fostering innovation and boosting overall productivity. And fourth one is infrastructure development. Industrialization necessitates the construction of infrastructure, including transport network and utilities, stimulating overall economic development. So, like industrialization brings many economic growth and developments. It helps economy become more varied, not just focus on farming. By creating more jobs in factories, it also helps lower poverty. Also, it pushes technology forward, making new ideas and products, and makes everything work better by building things like roads and power lines. Like some of the challenges and obstacles to industrialization in developing countries. Resource constraint. Many developing countries face resource limitation, including access to capital, skilled labor, and raw material, and hindering industrial progress. Second one is infrastructure deficiency. Weak infrastructures, inadequate power supply, and logistical challenges create sustainable obstacle to industrialization in this region. And third one is economic disparity. So economic disparities, including income inequalities and social instability, can impede the efficiency implementation of industrialization strategies. So developing countries have a hard time with industrialization because they lack money, skilled labors, and raw materials. Bad roads, not enough power, and problem moving things around also make it tough. Social issues like unequal pay and unrest can make it even harder to get industry going smoothly. So the case studies of successful industrialization strategies and the outcome. So first one is South Korea. South Korea's export-oriented industrialization model propelled the nation from agrarian economy to a leading industrial powerhouse. Agrarian economy is the economy that is dependent on basically agriculture. Second one is China. Through strategic policies and targeted investment, China transformed into a global manufacturing hub, driving rapid economic growth. Brazil focused on sustainable development and technology-driven industries, led to diversified economic growth and increased global competitiveness. So some countries succeeded in industrialization. South Korea became the top industry country for focusing on selling things abroad. China grew fast by planning and spending money on factories, becoming a world leader in making things. Brazil's strategy of using technology and being eco-friendly helped in grow in different ways in and a better world. So, role of technology and innovation in industrialization. So first one is innovation. Continuous innovation drives advancement in industrial process, fostering sustainable development and enhancing productivity. Second is automation. Automation technology streamline production process, improving efficiency and reducing operational cost. Third one is research and development. Investment in R&D facilities a facility facilitates the development of cutting-edge industrial solutions, driving technological progress and market competitiveness. So, technology and new ideas are crucial for making industries better by always coming up with new ways to do things. Industries can grow in good and lasting ways. Using machines that work on their own helps make things faster and cheaper. Spending money on research helps to create new and better ways to make products, making industry stronger and able to compete well in the market. Future prospects and trends in the industrialization and global economy, digitalization, the digital transformation of industrial process is expected to drive efficiency and innovation. revolutionizing traditional manufacturing, sustainability, increasing emphasis on sustainable industrial practice to mitigate environmental impacts and drive long-term economic prosperity. So in future, industries will use more digital technology to work better and make new things. This will change how things are being made, making them faster and smarter. Also, there will be bigger focus on being eco-friendly, helping the environment and making economies stronger in the long run. So, in conclusion, the importance of sustainable industrialization for sustainable economic growth and development. So, efficiency. Industrialization enhances the production efficiency through technological advancement. Second is job creation. Uh, Growth in industrial sector creates employment opportunities contributing to economic development. Third one is global competitiveness. Efficient industrialization strategies drive global competitiveness and participation. In conclusion, industrialization helps in economic grow in a good way by making production better with new technology. It also makes more job, which help economics grow even more. When countries with smart plans for industry, it helps them compete better in the world market. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Zuban Kalyan, about your presentation of global economy. So let's listen to Dr. Tanuja's point of view and also Dr. Srividya, ma'am. Please go ahead, ma'am.
Thank you, Suren, for you have explained, given a clear picture on the industrialization and its role in the global economy. Um, uh, you have very clearly explained on the current state of industrialization in the different regions of the world, that is advanced economics and emerging markets. You have discussed about the developing nations, how the challenges facing, and how, what are the opportunities for the economic advancement, you are rightly pointed out, and also the economic diversifications and the employment opportunities, infrastructure development and technological advancements you are addressed. And also you clearly addressed on the constraints. That is very important because we are moving ahead on the circular economy. The resource constraints is very a key point to be addressed on the industry sectors, and also the infrastructure deficiencies you rightly pointed out, and how the disparities in the economical growth, you have rightly pointed about that. And also you talked about the case studies, successful case studies, about South Koreans and South Korea, China, and Brazils. And uh, what is the role of technology and innovations? That is what is that is the future prospects that you rightly pointed about, the digitalization and sustainability. Yes. Uh, all the best. Thank you for your presentations.
Thank you, Tanuja ma'am. Yes, as Mr. Zuban was mentioning, industries play a vital role in shaping up the global economy, influencing the economic growth, trade, employment, and leading to innovation as such. So there are different industries which contribute on the overall, as ma'am was mentioning about the circular economy, ways in different ways that their interactions become create a very complex web of economic activity involving some of the key industries with their impact of kind of manufacturing, any kind of manufacturing industry, their contribution to the global economy in terms of goods, production, logistics, and also about the PMP activities which are related to it, be it textile or automobiles or machinery, etc., etc. Finally, it all comes to having the employment opportunities for millions of people, millions and millions of people worldwide, from the factory workers to engineers and designers. As such, this is definitely leading to a world of zero unemployment. Thank you so much. And definitely, as it was mentioning in the beginning of the session, like each and everyone, so just thinking about to go and work for a company, if they're going to start their own business, invest their time, their valuable time and effort, and also their finance and the money and everything into their own. It will create a very sustainable future for it, not only for themselves but also for the country they live in, and also for the global sustainable economy. So the global connectivity plays a very important role there, and working in collaborations with the governments also plays a vital role there. Definitely, we are there with you, Mr. Zubin, and contributing to the global finance and the financial markets in terms of not only about the stock exchanges, contributing to the globalization of the finance to cross the borders in terms of pharmaceutical or making use of the energy and the resources which are available, and also about the retail and the consumer goods that you were mentioning about, taking the examples of the three countries very clearly, and also about the in other words, there is one more when you talked about the countries. What I was thinking is even tourism and hospitality industry plays an important factor in the economic impact as such, and it contributes so significantly to the global economy through travel, accommodation, related services, and millions of people. Again, they get involved in this, and they really help boost the economy. And with all these things, well, we do accept with you on this point that is the complexity which is involved in boosting the global economy with the economic policies, technology advancement, and also the geopolitical events and the global trade relations play a vital role in shaping up the fortunes of the different industries, and thereby extension to the overall health of the global economy. Thank you so much, Mr. Really, that was a very insightful presentation, and it is a great pleasure having you here. Yes, Ms. Jessica.
Thank you so much, Dr.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much. Yes.
Yes.
I'm here to just give a brief talk, if I'm permitted to, since some
You're
the gist
always
of the speakers.
we were remembering you just now, Ms. Jessica. We were,
Thank you.
but everybody expressed the thing that we really wanted to see who is this Jessica. I'm sure everybody will accept with me.
Yes,
One
of
day,
course. I just felt like I want her to talk here. Thank you so much, Ms. Jessica.
Thank you so much. So I'm just going to do a quick presentation. So please bear with me. There's no slides, but I'll try to make this as informative as possible.
Okay.
Industrialization has been a transformative force when it comes to shaping the global economy. And this has led to profound changes in production, in trade, and in economic structures. So if we look at industrialization and economic growth, we can see that they have been closely linked since the beginning of the industrial age. So, for example, during the Industrial Revolution in Britain from 1760 to 1840, the GDP per capita increased by about 1.5% per year. And this was a rate that had never been seen in human history before. And that was just, a glimpse of what's to come. And speaking of global GDP, we can tell in 2019, the global GDP was estimated at around $87.5 trillion. And this was with industrialized countries accounting for a significant portion of these figures. And an example of such industrialized countries has to be Germany and Japan. And they are the two countries that you can really tell have experienced rapid industrialization and subsequent economic growth. So if you look at Germany, for instance, they started their industrialization in the late 19th century, and this propelled them to become a leading manufacturing and engineering powerhouse. Then we have Japan, that really blossomed post World War II in terms of the industrialization. And that was what we now know as the Japanese economic miracle, because it transformed the country into one of the world's largest economies. And this is what industrialization does. And if we look forward into our now, we can see the technological advancements. Industrialization has been driving the technological advancements for years now. So, for instance, if we take some few centuries back, when the development of the steam engine during the industrial revolution came about, it changed how transportation and manufacturing processes were seen. It changed how they were handled. And this led to increased productivity and economic growth. And this economic growth led to a huge boost in global trade and industrialization as well. And we have, for example, we have there were now countries that were able to have comparative advantage when it came to producing manufactured goods. They had advantage when it came to increasing their international trade and thus their economic interdependence. One country I like to always highlight when it comes to this global trade and industrialization is China. Because China's industrialization over the past few decades has just been absolutely remarkable. The country has become known as the world's factory because of its large scale manufacturing capabilities. And this industrialization has propelled China to become the world's second largest economy. Now, everything great has its challenges, and I think industrialization its challenges needs to be highlighted. So, despite its many benefits, it is one of the most significant contributors to environmental degradation. So, industrial processes can lead to pollution and resource depletion, which can have long term negative effects on the economy and society. Where do we go from here if that's the case? What should the future of industrialization look like? I believe the future of industrialization should be intertwined with sustainable practices. So countries can adapt to changes and leverage them for economic growth in order to succeed in the global economy in the most sustainable way. The key of industrialization is not just necessarily to just grow, but we need to grow with a sense of social justice in the back of our minds. And I believe that's one thing we are heading towards. We are seeing what industrialization can do. We are grateful for it. But right now, we need to also make sure we're not currently encouraging the greenhouse gas emissions to keep on flowing, to keep on coming. We cannot keep on sacrificing the environment for economic growth. We have to find a balance. We cannot trade off one for the other. They are both very important. And although industrialization has brought about greatness in global trade, GDP, in terms of economic interdependence, where economies that were once looked at as poor are now becoming a mammoth in the global stage. It's now, we are grateful for that, but we also have to now look at, okay, let's not disadvantage the disadvantaged. Let's ensure that income inequality that comes about industrialization is reduced. Let's ensure that the environment is always taken into account. So sustainable practices, in addition to ensuring we are still going about the future of industrialization, which is automation, Internet of Things, are still in the foreground, but let's just mind a carbon footprint. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Jessica.
Thank you.
And you know why Ms. Jessica has shown up all of a sudden? Since I know Ms. Jessica very well, I'll tell you. Today there were no speakers, or two speakers were there from GSFN, and both of them didn't show up. And all the other speakers are from ITIN. So she really wanted GSFN to be here on this platform. And so immediately she has pitched in the last minute saying that, okay, let me just go speak. Thank you. Am I not true, Jessica?
Yes, thank you. I was really worried. And so I didn't want, to cause any.
I know that. But it was a
I just wanted to create some. Thank you so much.
But it was a wonderful presentation. We like the level of commitment, that you have really displayed on this platform. Well, can I add some few things to your presentation, Jessica?
Oh, please do, Doctor.
Thank you. So definitely, as Jessica was mentioning, it's the aftermath of the global financial crisis. I think it started with the year 2007 or 8, if I'm right. The countries around the world took a decisive action to counter the impact of the recession on a broader segment of, with this tagline of SME, MSME, and industries, industrialization, global finance, circle economy, green finance, etc., etc., etc. It all shot up from there. These measures were accompanied by the financial reforms, definitely, as ma'am was mentioning, and also the other speakers were mentioning, to strengthen the banks, the global bank's resilience, such as based in Basel III framework, which was introduced with new minimal capital requirements and designed new rules for the liquidity management. So the global finance was there, the money is there, but we didn't know how to manage the country's income and outcome. I mean, the exports, imports, and also having a very sustainable financial operation and management system for each and every country. So, this had become a very severe challenge, which had led to the recession. So, the crisis had a very strong immediate impact, especially on higher income countries. And the data just range for about 48 countries in about financing SMEs and entrepreneurs in the scoreboard that shows that, as Madam was mentioning, and she had her stats very clearly uh, peaking up about to 22.14 median growth in 2009. Only in 2012 did the median growth of the bankruptcies started decreasing again. Imagine, from 2009 to 2012, all countries were literally fighting, they're combating with the financial recession part of it. And small, so who were very badly hit in this phase is the small businesses. The small businesses were hit particularly hard by the recession, with the share of the SMEs in the total business leading flows falling to 19.7% in the 2009 against 25%, 25.6% in 2007 in median terms. So in countries like Italy and South Africa, as Jesse had taken example, the outstanding stock of the SME loans declined to 6% and 20% respectively in 2008 and 2012. In other English countries like Portugal, now leading in 2012, adjusted for inflation, stood as just between 42% in terms of 2007 in volumes, and in United States, the small business leading in index, that is SBLI, measured with the volumes of new loans normalized to the base of the year 2005. So there comes the new avenue of venture capital investments, so significantly after the aftermath of the crisis, which raised up in a recovery, but in a very slow pace in advancing many economies. That's how this whole concept of SMEs and MSMEs took part or took the front foot forward in terms of the global finance. So, well, there became the revelation, there became the renaissance to think about the SMEs, saying that why did this happen? Because when industries shrunk, when the industries fall, there was no other company or the small scale industries which could support all these big companies to come up. So SME's population thereby started ameliorating, thereby long-standing structural issues have come in accessing to the finance part of it, and that which has led to the policy developments increasingly shaped up to the mega trends of globalization, digitalization, industrialization, etc., etc. Now we talk about opportunities, creating opportunities for the youth, creating opportunities for women, creating opportunities for farmers of any other artisans who are there as carpentry, pottery, or any blacksmith, or anybody who is involved in these SME factors. But this was the renaissance that has really paved way for this, and how it has helped our speakers at large have discussed very much about the regulatory measures and the supply for equity financing and also about debt financing, everything has been taken. So the policy action of this aftermath for the global financial crisis were these things: how to support these SMEs and SMEs in a large scale sector, taking very small countries as examples like China, how they have started in a very small scale unit, but they have become the global leader as of today. So that's how it has started, and every country is also following. As we go back from the bigger picture to a smaller picture, it all starts from home, from for that particular country, for the particular country's economy, and for the particular when the country it goes to the particular state, from the state it goes to the particular district, from the district it goes to the particular village, and the village it goes to the particular home. So if you go the reverse, it's always the other way around. But it all starts from home. So what would we request is that instead of talking about creating a new arena of SMEs or industrialization, let's start from home. From our home, what industry can we develop with? Now we are talking about knowledge industry. We're talking about creating a campaign, creating an awareness, how we can make a venture out of it, how we can make a business out of it, how you can benefit by it, how I can benefit by it, how people can benefit by it by working together, working in collaboration, working in partnership, working in equities, such that let's all put our heart, mind, and soul together such that we'll be able to take it forward. It's all about global finance and other things. We have got one more speaker who has joined. Thanks, Jessica. I think I've taken quite a longer time for your summary because I was overwhelmed by the whole summary of the whole presentation. That's why it is. Mr. Samuel has joined. Let's ask him whether, yes, Jessica, are you saying something?
Yes, I want to just say thank you, and I hope it was something informative, and I'm glad I was able to add to this session, and thank you so much.
Always, always. Mr. Samuel Aluku. Good evening, sir.
Hello. Yes,
Yeah.
hello. I can hear you.
Yeah. So you're here to present something?
Yes.
Yeah. Please go.
Okay. Sorry, I'm actually working out from a meeting. It's a little bit noisy, but I can go on now.
Yeah. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's afternoon in Nigeria here. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good morning. Good evening in any part of the world. How are you doing?
We are fine. Hope
Yeah,
you're okay.
I just quickly want to speak. I would have loved to have a slide, but I just got notified of my engagement in today's meeting. So what is actually the contribution of micro SMEs to the sustainability of the economy of any country? The SMEs, the micro industries play a lot in the development and the sustainability of the economy of any country. Come to think of it, in Africa here, we have some peasant traders, people that sell things on the streets, food hawkers. We have, farmers, peasant farmers. We have artisans. These people can actually take in 1, 2, 3 people that they can employ as helping hands. Not all industry can actually absorb the old numbers of the qualified citizen in the labor sector. But these people can easily, without education or no education, come to think of it, the food vendors can easily get the helping, can get 2, 3 helping hands, which can actually contribute to the GDP of that very country. Take, for example, I'm a farmer. I'm a farmer profession. I am also into IT. My wife is into core value addition of agricultural produces. So she employs for food and beverage industries. She employs the services of 10 workers, both temporary and casuals. So these 10 workers can easily, contribute their quota to the development of that country. And at the same time, it reduces the poverty level of that very family. So we cannot overemphasize the contribution of the micro industries and the SMEs to the development of any country. And the government have to make a policy that will actually become favorable, because if the government of any country continues to kill the micro industries, that means the economy of that country will soon collapse. I have to share this in this very forum. Take as example as that of Nigeria. The Nigerian government is working, but is actually having a heavy and adverse effect on the micro industry. That is why you see so many micro institutions shut down. And I believe with the little that the government is doing now, they are trying to see how they can actually make a policy that can work and actually reopen some of these micro industry that are already shut down, because they contribute mightily. And this reduces the adverse effects of the economy of that country. That is number one. Then number two is that if the economy, the micro industry is not being supported, maybe via loan, soft loan, 1-digit loan, grants, support, maybe internationally, and in knowledge gap too, because some have the required fund, but knowledge is a big problem. They don't understand the businesses, or maybe at one time or the other, they don't have technical support. So there has to be a way by which all this knowledge gap can actually be bridged, how we can actually cover up for this knowledge gap. And that is the essence of training, SME trainings for micro industry, how they can actually improve on the products that they're actually producing, or the services. Take, for instance, a big mansion without a cleaner. So will the prince or the princess or the madam of the place be the one doing the cleaning? It will become boring. But if there is division of labor, that is that is economics. If there is division of labor and they are being empowered, the lower people at the lower cadre is being empowered in knowledge. How do you clean and become a perfect and expert in cleaning, taking into consideration details? So you clean and you make the place, the environment more comfortable, because the micro industries are the one that is making the environment convenient for the big players to come in. Because if the woman selling food at the roadside food vendor is not consuming, how would the farmer be able to produce? The farmer be able to still be in business, being sustained in business. So the cascade is being cascaded up. So it's the micro and the cottage industry also have to be paid attention to. The shoe cobblers. So if his business is being shut down and it does not have the required resources, maybe in knowledge, the hide and skin provider, the hide and skin provider will not still also be in business, will not be in business. So many of how we can actually improve the micro industries. Outside the knowledge gap, what about the provision of trustworthy labor? Because take for instance, in some of African countries, they have the required knowledge, they have the required fund, but the integrity and trustworthiness is not there. So if it's not there, if you don't have trustworthy workers, that means the business also will soon shut down. So we also need to work on that. I think with I have so much to say. I would have loved to maybe at another time I would have loved to show you some graphs to see the effect. Show you some slides with some graphs, some data that have been collected over the time. The effect of micro industries and SME on the development of the nation. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Samuel. I would request you to kindly mute yourself Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
Yeah, that was really wonderful. As you had rightly mentioned, some of the few points like identifying the SME financial needs and the gaps that will improve the evidence base for collecting the data, where data management is very, very important in presenting it up. And thereby, with the data collected, with the collected data, the first thing, whichever format it is, that the country is compatible with, strengthen the SME's access to traditional bank financing. That is very key thing. Because I don't want to mention the name of the country here on this platform, but still, you know what they did? They were talking about, the country was whole talking about women empowerment, women liberalization, women become entrepreneurs, women become business people, women become business owners. So what the country said is, if you're a female, if you're a woman, then you should have a bank account. Basically, what is required is that every single woman whom we are talking about, women empowerment, women financing, women business ownership or entrepreneurship, they should know at least the basic nuances of maintaining a bank account where money comes and money goes. This is the basic thing which is required. So access to bank financing was the first step that the country has done it, and the country has successfully made those who have joined me on this platform, they would have by the time figured out which country I'm talking about. That's the major thing. That's a simple thing. So any other country which is going to talk about again women finance or youth financing or talking about any kind of financial aspect of it, let them get the access to the bank financing aspects and the nuances which are involved in that, such that they are able to put money in, the money in and money out process should be very clear by any other modem, if it is bank or through any other services which they're going to use, they will be able to. Now, in that, what contributes to this again is that technological innovation and also adaptability to the technological innovation is the key thing. Now, these days, bank financing doesn't happen with that particular BANK, the four walls. It doesn't happen that way. It is all online. So the people should equip themselves, empower themselves with the knowledge. As you rightly mentioned, capacity building comes to the new innovation methods which are involved in it, such that promote financial inclusion for the SMEs and with easy access to the formal financial services, including the informal ways as well. So this will enable the SMEs. I do agree with you that this will enable the SMEs to access the diverse non-traditional financing instruments and the channels as well. Thereby, when you do it, there is always a threat. Hope you will agree with me. That is safety and security and the compliancy factor comes into hand. So design regulation that supports a range of these financial instruments for the SMEs and MSMEs while ensuring financial stability for investor and the user protection, which is a key thing. So improve thereby when you develop compliancy, when you develop regulatory methods which are involved in this process, improve the transparency in the SME finance market such that everybody is clear. So they're not being taken aback by any kind of loss or whatever thing. They can have a very clear idea of exactly where the finance, if I'm going to invest, where it is going to go from there. Exactly the in and out is very clearly explained on the term sheet. So the transparency is a very key thing that we should adopt with to enhance financial skills and the strategic vision. Adopt principles of risk sharing with public and such that knowledge sharing plays a vital role. Encourage timely payments in terms of commercial transactions that are being involved in the public procurement. Design knowledge sharing public programs for SME finance. Ensure in terms of tax which is being involved in it, or like tax registration, and also effectiveness of bringing in the user friendliness such that people are aware of exactly which industry I am, if I'm going to invest, exactly what is going to happen, and if at all I'm not very comfortable with, how do I come out? So when we talk about equity and partnership, entry and exit plays a very key important role, such that we are able to create an awareness, build knowledge capacity building in all the people in their levels of working, such that it becomes more user friendly to make it more successful. As such, monitor and evaluate these kind of processes in terms of global finance. Thank you so much. That was quite comprehensive. Hope I think I've done a fair job in summarizing your presentation. Thank you so much. That was a last minute pitch, but it covered all the factors. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Samuel. So, Dr.
Thank
Tanuja,
you
would
so
you like to
much.
add on, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Dr. Tanuja, please share your thoughts about his words.
Yeah, ma'am, you have rightly pointed you have covered all the points what you have mentioned.
Thank you. Thank you. So, coming back to Ms. Subhashini, would you like to add on? Because we're going to sum it up.
Hirubashni, yes. Yes,
Subhashini.
ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes. So every week I'm just exploring the different words from the youngsters. You know, it's been so long, as I told you, dealing with the college students and the school students. I'm really enjoying their thoughts sharing here. And, you know, whenever they speak, I'm just upcoming with a lot of thoughts. Okay, let me also get involved in all these things and, you know, gain a lot of knowledge from them. So I'm glad again to be a participant here. So I would like to continue the same with you all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So today's presentation on entrepreneurship and MSMEs was quite comprehensive. As such, I think we started with Sai Saktivel, or before
No, we
that,
started with
Sai Shri,
Sashmita.
Sushmita,
Yeah,
and
Sashmita.
Sai Saktivel, and thank you so much, Sai Shri, and also like there was one more. Ruben
Zuben,
Kalyan.
Zuben
Ruben
Kalyan.
Kalyan.
Yes.
Ruben Kalyan. And finally, Madam Jessica also contributed something towards it, and Mr. Samuel. Sure. Thank you. Thank you so much. So that was quite comprehensive. For coming to the takeaways of today, what is the key thing? What I felt is the technological advancement, which people should be adapt themselves in terms of industrial development worldwide. That's a key thing that will contribute to the global industrialization process, and where innovation plays a vital part, and it advances in technology, including automation, everything, and drive the industrialization factor as such to take it to the next level. As such, that's a key thing which I thought. And also access to finance. Second thing is, as I was giving the summary of Mr. Samuel, like access to finance and the bank procedures and the financial institutions, getting the loan procedure, grant procedures, creating an awareness. It should go on to the very local level. I mean, the consumer level, such that the people are able to understand about the microfinance. Uh, uh, and also the enterprises which are involved in it for developing the key economies, and also about the regulatory environment. Very key thing is safety and security is very important in terms of compliance support, providing assistance to businesses in regulatory requirements and compliance standards that should be made at the national level, such that there should not be any difference between the states. Like this state, it is allowed; the other state, it is not allowed. It should happen that it should have its policies well laid at the national level, such that it is able to contribute to the international trade and the market access, export promotion, and support the SMEs in terms of the international market opportunities for growth. So thank you so much. That was quite comprehensive. I was totally involved in today's
And
session because
Sri
we were
Vidya,
talking
madam,
about
I would like
finance.
to add a point. Sri Vidya, madam, I would like to add a point, as you said. Like you were talking about the micro, small, and medium scale industries. So, as you said, they start enthusiastically in the beginning, whatever with ideas they have. But you know, they don't have much knowledge about the registration, and as you say, not to invest in the banking and the transactions that flows in and out. So as you said, some initiative should be taken to all those people, those who are really interested in doing like micro small and medium scale industries. So
Yeah,
this
this
was
used to
just
have
popping up
this
in
you.
my
Thank you. Really, it was a good mention. This used to happen in India before. Like there used to be one particular
yes.
channel in DD channel where they used to have one particular
Mm.
program for farmers, which is called as Vailum Vadu. It was, I'm talking about yesteryears years of
Okay.
80s and 90s, and those years they used to have this particular channel where continuously people were educated, like on everyday basis.
Mhm.
It was arm Aadmi ka program tha. Like things should
Oh.
go on to that level such that people it is more accessible to them. Why am I talking about
Mm.
TV? These days we are so addicted to this particular device of phone, internet. Without internet, see, today
You're right.
five of our speakers could not turn up because there's no internet facility. But having
Mm.
in those days, we didn't have internet, we didn't have a computer, we didn't have a touch screen, we didn't have a device like this. But things were happening. How things were happening? It was open. The whole system was open, such that it was communicated through an open modem called television through a satellite vision.
Mm.
So things should go on to that simple mode of living such that people are the user. It should be user friendly. The consumers are able to benefit instead of making them a victim
Yeah.
of the new innovation. Things should go on to a simpler mode such that it is more they're more accessible to. Because end of the day, when we talk about eradicating poverty, this urban development is a key thing that we need to work on. When we talk about urban development, when we talk about vulnerable countries, how to make things happen there, how to make things be accessible to their daily life is a key challenge that every country should address. On that note, it should be conveyed, it should be communicated through satellite mode. That's what I feel. Any other speaker who would like to add on? You can add on, and we
Madam,
will be ready
I
to
do
listen.
want to add one more point.
Yes,
Actually, yeah, madam, MSME plays a vital role in the world economy. They are the critical for achieving the SDG declared by the UN. That is, for example, if you take goal number one, the MSMEs create employment that lifts the people out of poverty, and goal number two, they are also supports in small farmers and agriculture focused.
exactly.
Um, yeah, like each and every goal the MSME supports for the achievement of the SDGs declared by the UN.
Very true. Very true. We open it to for all the speakers. If anybody would like to contribute, you can contribute, and so that we will sum it up. Anybody would like to contribute on this? Thank you. So, am I muted?
No, you are. You
Okay.
can, ma'am. Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Sai Saktivel, would you like to add on something out of your presentation? Just not about your presentation, about the topic in general.
Nothing else, ma'am. Thank you for this opportunity, and I'm really grateful to Tanuja, ma'am, and everyone present here for sharing your views and opinion. I really hope that this session will add great value to my other endeavors in life. And once again, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Sashmita, anybody else before we wind up? So thanks to each one of you who have contributed on this session today. Well, we have come towards the end of the session, and the next week topic is a more follow-up topic of today's. It's going to talk about trade and finance and export and imports. So, how we are going to design the whole infrastructure of the trade and finance such that we are able to take it to the global level. That's what we are going to talk about. So we'll have more contributions from more youngsters, I think. Well, end of the day, it's all in the hands of the youngsters. And you are the people who are going to take the lead, such that we leave it to you, we leave the mandate to you, such that to take it forward and to move on. So on that note, until we meet again, it's going to be bye from adieu from all of us. Until we meet again for the same Sunday and same time. Thank you, Prabhashini. You're doing a wonderful job. We are so happy to have you here. and we value
Thank you.
your every support. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks for all the
Thank you so
speakers.
much.
That was wonderful. And thanks to all our community partners, IGEN, GSFN, IAO, and R&D University and New Zealand. Thank you so much. And we'd like to have more and more speakers. Please spread the word around. Please bring more youth. As such, you are going to take it forward. More youth coming in, more you can form your youth army. That's a thing. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. Until we meet again, it's adieu from all of us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you. Bye.